Hello, everyone. Welcome to our special podcast. Why? Because we are sitting with industrial veteran with more than 30 years of sales experience, and we are going to talk about what is happening in the market around us. Are we in recession or in depression? And what about those cycles which they have already faced, and for us, it might be new. Welcome everyone, and welcome Mr. Raj.
Thank you, Mandeep. Thank you. Honored to be here with you.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure. I know you're a busy guy. Why not we go directly to the topic? When you say you're a veteran, you don't look like a veteran.
I don't say you say it.
Love that mindset. So I know you are into sales more than 30 years?
I've been into sales more than 30 years here in Canada, in Ontario specifically. Yes.
Love that, right? So why not you tell our viewers about yourself? Who's Mr. Raj?
Raj, I wonder.
Raj.
Well, Mandeep, I've been here like over 35 years. I came to Canada from Nairobi, Kenya. I came here in March of 1987, and as professionally, I did architecture in Kenya, and I moved down to Edmonton, Alberta.
Okay.
And in 87, once we've been around long enough, do realize that 1987, Alberta was going through a recession.
Oh, they were already there in the recession?
They were at the time, March of 1987. We already landed in this cycle.
Oh, wow.
and you know what, to make it even better, being in an architectural field, obviously in this cycle, there's no construction, no development, so you can imagine the hardship that you had to go to survive the cycle. Was I aware of what a recession is or was? From Kenya to Canada, landing in recession, no clue. But then you see, what I had to do is like I'd come with a mindset that I'm going to move forward, I'm not going to look back. I took Canada as my country, where I'm going to be in thick and thin, good and bad. And I just said, you know what, if I can get a job in architecture, I'm going to get a job in any field I can to survive, and I will survive. And I took up whatever odd jobs I did to survive.
Love that, right? So that's a very interesting situation. Somebody landing in the recession itself, new country, new opportunity,
Absolutely.
Zero Canadian experience. You might have language barriers, maybe weather barriers, like family, so many things, so many challenges, I would say.
Absolutely. And you know, when you're talking about the cultural changes in the sense that, you know, like if you go back now and then back, you know, like 35 years ago, people aren't familiar with saying people walking around with a turban. They say, what's the headgear you got? What's this? Language wasn't a barrier to me at all. You know, Kenya is a metropolitan city where you speak English very fluently. I speak Swahili, Punjabi, Hindu, Urdu, Gujarati.
You are a multilingual, right?
Yeah. But then again, you know, fitting into a market where you are new, foreigners were not as much as you see in this current market.
Okay.
And obviously, Alberta, Edmonton specifically, was a very small market at the time. And like going even to a car wash, any little job was tough, difficult. And you know what, fortunately, the building that I stayed at, the apartment building, was on Jasper Avenue. And I spoke with the, you know, the maintenance engineer, say, you know what, with the superintendent, sorry, that's what they call it, is that, look, these are my skills, this is my qualification, I can't get a job, but I need to pay rent, so can you give me anything that you have to do? So I did all the odd jobs like maintenance of the apartments, people moving in, moving out, you know, preparing the apartments, working 17 hours a day there, because you had to flip the apartment at the end of the month to have it ready for the new tenant coming in. So, but if that needed to be done, I prepared myself, and without looking, without any bad feeling, I did it with good faith and said, you know what, I took up the challenge and I'm going to face it.
Love that, right? So it's really fascinating and motivating. So what about someone who's landing in today's market? Yes. We are saying the interest rates are high, inflation is so much, maybe we are in a recession. So how they can relate with you? What type of energy you had at that time that you were able to survive?
Yeah, a very good question. And you know, it so happened that was the situation I was in, and I actually went through. So I'm not talking about someone else's, I'm going to talk about my experience, what I survived. A lot of people come with tons of great experiences, professionals and all this stuff. But we all know this shift in the market, this so-called recession, is basically what the whole economists are trying to do is market correction to bring down the prices which are out of hand, to bring them things in control.
Yes.
But what do people who landed in the situation, do they understand what's happening? Are they familiar with it? I don't think so.
They're not.
Okay? But what we need to do is, what we need to guide them, or what they need to know is, it's okay. They will survive.
They're breathing, they're taking the air, they have the food to eat.
Yes. You know what? Canada is the world's best country in the world. I say that hands down. All right? You cannot be a Canadian and not have food. You cannot be a Canadian and not have shelter. So having full shelter should not be an issue. It does not mean that you go to shelter, but you're qualified, you've taken up the challenge to live from whatever country, whatever place to come to Canada. So you got to have the mindset of, you know what? It's a different place, it's a different country, it's going to be a challenge, and you should be ready. And what I say, if you're a professional, if you do not get a job in your field,
Okay.
look for anything. Have a plan B handy. Canada is a developing country.
Okay.
You may not get an office job. You got to work in the labor force, do it, survive the market.
That's what's all about survival. Yeah.
Absolutely, survive the market. At the same time, keep your skills sharpened. So the market, I have seen how many cycles since '87.
Yeah, so we had 90s, right? So we were discussing before.
2007, 2008, and
was
I'm going through one now. I've seen stuff, like I have seen these things with my friends, you know, people that are not.
And you faced it.
I faced it,
Yes.
I lived through it. I survived it. If I can't, anybody can.
Love
All
that.
right.
So it's about the motivation, it's about the
Absolutely.
mindset,
It's all about mindset.
skills.
Absolutely.
Okay, and
Because
plan B, I like that, plan B.
Absolutely, and the plan B, sharpen your skills, whatever you have. Don't let that destroy your plan coming to Canada, beautiful. You know what? These things are happening everywhere.
Everywhere.
You may not have faced from where you're coming, but you know what? It happens. This is the reality. Face the situation. Canada, if you're in Ontario, which is Canada's Ontario, is the economic hub, right? So there is no job shortage. Absolutely.
Love that,
If
right?
you do not get a job in your field, go, get out whatever field you can. Make sure you have enough money to pay your rent, pay your bills, have a roof under your family's head, and then you're feeding, and that survive this situation. At the same time, sharpen the skills that you came up with. Soon as the market correction is done, it's up there again. Have your resumes, everything ready, start shooting them out, and get back into the field that you were. Do not stay where you were, move ahead. That's what you're here for.
Love that. I love that energy and motivation. Definitely we need some sort of a backup, some sort of a emergency funds.
Absolutely.
They say in Punjabi, right? Apni chadar nalo pair badana sao, right? So that's
you rightfully said. And you know what? Coming to your investments, the other thing, same thing. Like I've been into the investment, into financial services as well, and people know me very well for it. Who wants to watch you? The same Raj Dhanjal, all right? But again, you see, having learned from the experiences, diversify your investment portfolio. Do not put your eggs in one basket. Right?
Love that.
It's like stocks. You put all your money in one stock. You could go high. You could either lose it all. Mutual funds, diversification. That's why they're safer.
So it's all about that. You should have a right mindset, maybe right nurturing. You are working with a professional who can guide you where you need to do the diversification.
Absolutely. Get a professional individual, be it real estate, be it investment planning. Work with somebody who's certified. And one of the other things, Mandeep, I'll tell you, is like a lot of people that, with all my time, that experience that I've had, people do not want to spend some money to seek advice of a professional. They'd rather lose what they have, but they do not want to pay. But you know what? Penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
So I'd rather spend a little bit, deal with the professional, get the professional advice, and save what I've hardly earned.
We were laughing yesterday, so a lot of education is coming from, because they have a university called WhatsApp University, they have Facebook universities. So maybe your friends network, these are good, but what professionals they are niche, they are regulated,
Yes.
they're there for your help and support.
Absolutely.
So why not use them and scale whatever you are into, maybe your business, maybe your career, maybe investments, whatever you are into. Love that. So I know we have a limited time. Why not focus on yourself, right? We talk about sales.
Yes.
So somebody who's entering the sales market, in today's market, you have been into sales for more than 30 years. What motivated you to be into sales?
Okay, I'll tell you. As I mentioned earlier, right at the beginning of this conversation, Mandeep, I did architecture. coming to Canada, like, when I was in Edmonton, I had a hard time. Eventually, I did get into the field of my choice and all
Okay.
that stuff. But what happened is the end of 1988, when I'd gone for vacation to England, came back, and everybody in that firm had been laid off.
Oh.
And then I said, what do I need now? Then I studied, where the job opportunities lied in Canada. Alberta was obviously down, and at that point in time, Ontario was booming.
Okay.
I said, you know what? I got to pack up, head to where the business is, where the market is. So I packed up the end of January 1988, beginning of February 1988. I was in Toronto, Ontario.
Oh, so that's a new province, new city, new journey again.
Absolutely, restarting all over again. And yes, rightfully, I landed. I clearly landed. I remember clearly landed on Thursday evening at Pearson. A good friend of mine picked me up from the airport, and brought me home. And right the following day, I looked into the papers, looked for job opportunities in architecture, and got a job. I remember the architect, Feridun Shubak Architects, and started work with them. From there, went to independent consultants, worked with them as an architect. We did a nice, good projects and everything. And then again, guess what? The end of '89, we started to get into the recession when Operation Deadly Storm started. And I said, and then we all laid off again in the architecture business. Now that is the time that it really hit me hard. I said, you know what? This is not working out. I got to do something. If this then I started how economy works, and I realized every 7-8 years a recession cycle.
It's a cycle.
It's a
Okay.
cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And does that mean every 7-8 years I'm going to be out of job? I cannot sit. You know me. I don't sit. It's not me to sit and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep working. Then I said, okay, what can I do to keep working no matter what the cycle is? And then sales got into picture. I got into insurance sales and all this stuff, and all this, sales is something. No matter what the cycle,
Okay.
the demand is there. Depending what you're doing. Like there's always somebody needing something.
Yes.
Somebody needing something. As long as you're determined, you're focused, you know your markets, you know your product, you have the product knowledge, you know your skills, you know your product knowledge.
And you're hustling?
You hustle. And again, sales is not easy. Remember, guys, sales is not just something that you sit and okay, somebody's going to come.
Something magical will happen.
No, there is no magic. You have to go out and reach out to people. Everyone, take example for yourself, Mandeep.
So I would say sales is all about numbers, provided you have a right knowledge and experience.
Absolutely. And you know what? Knowledge in the product that you sell. If it's real estate, if you don't understand the market, what this shift, buyer's market, seller's market, we talk about home evaluations, appraisals, anything. If you don't have all the over knowledge, what are you going to market to the customer?
Love that, right? So that's the thing, actually, still sales are happening as of now. If you talk
Absolutely.
about Toronto real estate market, definitely sales are down. There were 10,000 homes getting sold to 5,000 because, shelter is the basic need.
Absolutely.
You need shelter, food, whatever, these are the clothes, these are the basic necessity of your life.
Absolutely. And in this market, as you said, the sales are down, what should the current agents be doing at this point in time? Does not mean whatever, if the market is down, that, oh my God, we're done. No need to panic. Don't panic. If you're a real estate agent at this point in time and you're having a hard time getting leads, keep in touch, regular correspondence with your prospects, with your current,
Clients, yes.
Keep in touch. Let them know what's happening. Keep them monitored. Give them all good news. It's going to change. Remember, if good times don't last longer, neither will the hard times.
Yes, love that, right? So it's about, I always say, confused mind means no results.
Absolutely.
If you're confused sitting at home, right, like there's a winter and I can't go outside, why not wear a jacket and just face it?
I remember a saying, and I know most people remember, as they say, when the times get tough, the tough get going.
Love that.
So keep that positive mental attitude. Keep yourself positive. Keep a regular correspondence with your markets, with your people that you're dealing with. As you say, it's a numbers game. And let me tell you something. When we talk about numbers, what do we mean by numbers? Does it mean that if you talk to 100 people, you're going to get 100 clients? No. But to get one prospect, one client, you may have to go through 100 to get to qualify maybe 40, maybe 30. Out of that, you may just cultivate maybe 4, 5 actual clients.
That's the real.
But if you say, if I'm going to talk to one person and that is 100% client, that's wrong. This is why we say it's a numbers game, because you need to reach out to mass, to numbers, mass, go keep talking and reach out to them. But the key thing is at the same time, Mandeep, and that's what attracted me to you. You have to be genuine, you got to be honest.
Love that. So transparent, honest, and you're adding value to your clients.
You have to be transparent. The transparency has got to be, if you're not genuine, your client can read you.
Yes, people are very smart, and if you try to smart people, like, you'll be lost. It's a short game.
Absolutely.
You have been into sales from more than 30 years. What's the reason? What's the secret? Maybe that's there, right?
Absolutely. And then the secret is, again, you know what? Yes, we all go through hard times. And it's not, you see, everyone goes through hard times. And the difference with somebody smiling and moving on and somebody going into a bad situation is how you've handled the situation.
Love that. Now I can see, right? I was coming to my next question. How you keep yourself motivated? I can feel that energy in the room, and we are like...
It's like how you handle it. As they say, when life gives you lemon, so you make lemonade. Next time you have it, drink, enjoy it, right?
So it's a part of life. Just move on.
It's how you treat life. It's how you handle, and you know what? It's just, again, it's how you handle things, how you take things. You know what? You can take something and just cry over it, or you can take the same thing and see what's positive out of it.
I love that. So just live with it.
Yeah, and remember, it's not that you don't have to be good in all the good times. It's not, life is not a happy life all through. There are going to be bumps. There are going to be some rocket. It's like a rose. It's got thorns. But people aren't focused on the good part.
So it's like...
So you always, the same thing, whatever comes to life, never mind about the flower, the thorns, focus on the beautiful rose on top.
So that's, I would say, it's great opportunity. You are in a great country, amazing country. You have a lot of opportunities, potential, fresh air to breathe.
Absolutely.
Why not capitalize that and excel in your life?
Absolutely. And one thing, I'll tell you something. Yes, there's, again, when you talk about keeping that positive mental attitude, we all deal with people. Keep away from all the negative news. Keep away from the friend circle that keep feeding you negative news. Don't listen to the negative news. Yes, we all know we're going through a shift in the market, and it's there. It's there. Nothing we can do. We have to ride the wave. But you know what? Keep your mind with all positive thoughts. It's going to get away. I'm going to come over it. I will do it. Think of why you're here. Think about your family. Think about the responsibilities that you have. All right? Be positive, keep that positive mental attitude, and keep moving. Yes, if you're in any sales, and if the market has been really hit very hard, it's okay. I've seen it 3 times. It's okay. You know what? Put your plan B to use, get another alternate source of income. Keep moving.
Get a job. Yeah.
You know what? Keep working and keep this skill polished at the same time. As soon as the market changes, get back into it.
Yeah, it's all about, I love that numbers game. And if you talk about inflation is cooling off. It might go up or down because, like...
Okay, talking about inflation, let's go back a few months to about a year. What do you think about the increase in the market? Let's not think about agents. Let's not think about real estate agents. Think about just as a Canadian. What do you think about how the house markets shot up? Do you think that our kids would be able to afford those prices?
No, it's not. So we have seen the recession, I would say in the March, whenever the COVID news came, there was a recession at that time also. And then it just bounced like 30% one year, next 30% next year. So that's not affordable. And like, I have sold properties where just put a sign, 15 minutes it's getting sold. That is not the way the real estate is done. Now I would say this is the ideal market for a realtor or broker. This is the market where it takes 30, 45 days, genuine days to sell the property. And then which is the real talent. And I've seen there's a lot of growth, a lot of new real estate agents come. It's good. You should explore the sales market, but you should have the right mindset.
Absolutely.
It's not an easy game.
Real estate is your biggest investment. With what's been happening, Mandeep, offers going in, no condition. Firm offers.
Yes.
Tell me something. Real estate is your biggest investment. What if there are cracks in the basement? Now I'm talking not as real estate agents.
Yeah, it's just a normal public. Definitely I'm with you.
So this correction is required to stabilize the markets, to bring life back to reality.
And it's expensive. It's not about real estate itself. You talk the food itself. Go to groceries, go to gas stations. You'll feel that pinch. Go to restaurants. you can see like, oh, $100, $200. I never imagined that.
I'm smiling because I just saw an article, social media, and this says this is why we see inflation is really hit. When you go to buy samosa, you have to pay for the chutney.
Yes, that's how it is, right? So,
so that shows that inflation is really hit.
yes, that's the. No, it's impacting everyone. It's a global thing, and we need to come together as one. And it might take times. Maybe it's a quarter, another quarter, but things going to change.
Absolutely, things are going to take. You know what? If good times don't last long, neither will the hard times. And you know what? Hard times is what makes a man, a real person, a woman, a real person. Because if you can sustain these times, you can sustain anything.
Love that. So I know we discussed a lot of things about recession. We talked about sales. Why not we talked about this personality, the smart guy who's sitting here, Mr. Raj. So dig deeper into that. So let's say if you're not into sales, what you're doing day to day in your life?
I have a martial arts gym.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason I did get into a martial arts gym, and I had like investments with my partners, two partners in the US. I had hotels in Detroit and up here, right, Illinois. And obviously in 2008, we all know when the market hit really hard there. And then we had to basically hand over the keys to the banks and come back. And coming back here, obviously I had to start off something, and the least amount of investment I could do is get into a field that I liked, so I could keep my mental state there. And then I got into like it's something that I always did, martial arts, sports, athletics, and all that stuff. So I just thought I'd start a small business, and that way keep an income coming in, and then as it grows, then I'd get back into sales itself. But what I realized, Mandeep, is, and that's what keeps me positive, is that over time, like 9 out of 10 kids are being bullied in schools. They don't have confidence, they are shy, they are timid. Yes, they're youth, in schools they're getting exposed to drugs, and then they grow up bigger, and then they're into street fights. And then there are some others, who've got medical conditions. And then with the stressful life that we do have, I mean, we're so stressed in the same, meaning not negatively, but there's so much that we have to do. We get a little stressed. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So they get into medical conditions. When they go to the doctors for full, physical checkups, the first thing doctor does not ask, what do you do for a living? How much money do you have? How much you invest? They ask, do you work out? Do you exercise?
That's the thing.
All right. So once I started to see the difference, in children, building confidence, they're able to look after themselves, they're able to defend themselves, they're getting off drugs, like actually talking situation with my students. And same thing, the youth, on the streets, instead of actually street fighting, I train them to become athletes, not fighters, athletes competing professionally, nicely. So not that we have amateur sports here, not professional, but getting them in the rings, whether they're adults, coming, losing weight. And you know what? Once your body feels good, you feel good.
Definitely.
If your body, let's say, if you're in pain, you would not be sitting here smiling. So this is what I do again, dealing with a ton of people, bring them to getting them into good health, mental, psychological, emotional, physical, and all the stuff. But then again, Mandeep, sales is my core thing.
And we can feel it.
Okay, it's my core thing, and I've been doing it for 4 years, and I'm back here. And the reason I'll tell you, the reason I have chosen Mandeep, I've seen him. I'm not saying because I'm sitting here with you. You are a genuine individual. You are out there to really help out people. That is what I am doing. That's what I've been doing for the last 14 years. And this is what, in the other field that I'm doing. But that's what you're doing. Keep up this work. And you know what? You have actually motivated me to spend my words back into my sales and get back to what I've been doing.
You're like doing amazing, I would say, for the community. I think that's health you talked about, and the kids. That's what our real assets are.
Absolutely.
It's not about real estate. It's not about investments. It's all about your family, the growth. That's why we're in Canada. That's how we are expanding, growing
Absolutely.
here. And the work you are doing it, we can't do it. So that's a blessing for us, for the whole community, the work you're doing it. I know you have a passion, you have that dedication, you have that charm and that energy to be like amazing person. No doubt you, wherever you go, you are in sales, you are into health, martial arts, whatsoever. It's all about your personality that is shown here. Love that, right? So why not we talk about what is a food that Mr. Raj can eat whole day?
You know what? I like in Kenya, I was a carnivore. Like if there was no meat, I would not live with that. I'm not here for conversion to anything. But when you're into sports and athletics and all the stuff, your body automatically, as they say, your body is your doctor.
Yes.
So eventually, my body started to reject meat, and I'm not converting to anybody to veg. But I've been on a pure vegetarian diet, no meat, no eggs, no fish for the last 39
We
years.
don't look. Oh.
Absolutely. And obviously no protein shakes, nothing, just pure natural vegetarian diet.
Love that. I know you enjoy cooking also.
Let my wife not hear that.
So, any last thoughts? No, it's amazing. We can relate to your journey. You have seen those recessions we talked about. When you landed here, and still we are into that phase.
Yes.
Any thoughts for our audience who are starting new into this journey? Maybe they're new to the sales, maybe new to the country, new to any work or industry. Maybe they bought their home like in the peak. What thoughts you have for them?
You know what? Things happen for a reason.
Yes.
You're at the place at the time for a reason. Okay? Hang on to what you have. Be positive. The key thing is everybody, as long as they have an income, you're okay. Do not look for more than what you need at this point in time. If you get it, it's a bonus. But you know what? I'll truly say with conviction, Canada is the world's best country. We are blessed to be here.
Yes.
And Mandeep, I will say with no hesitation, people who don't appreciate Canada, do not like, they don't belong, they don't deserve Canada. All right? This is a place that you have come at a time compared to when I came, Mandeep. Now, I'll be honest, the first Indian Punjabi that I met was almost after 6 months.
Oh.
It was a deserted place, and I mean it. Now you come, it's like coming from wherever to wherever you were. I have seen harder times. I know it's hard for everyone, but keep that most. Remember, remember the responsibility. Remember the reason you've come here for.
Yes, that's important.
Remember that. Stay focused. Keep your mind focused and be determined. Do not let that go off. Do not let that goal fade off. Eye of the tiger. Keep your goal on the target. Keep your mind on the target. Focus. Keep on. Yes, it's hard time.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be even stronger. All right? Do whatever. Put a plan B into place. Get a job. Get whatever you can to survive, to make an income, to pay off your rent, to pay your bills. That should be good. If you can cover that, you're happy. You should not be complaining.
Love
and
that.
eventually, God willing, things are going to change. I have seen the cycles before. They will change. It's not an option. It will happen. Stay focused. Stay positive. Spend time with spend time with your family. Appreciate one another. Build a strong relationship. What has COVID done? Has built stronger relationships.
Mm-hmm.
People spend more time with their families. Brought the bond stronger together. Stay stronger. Be focused. Be determined. And you know what? A warrior. Get over it.
Definitely. So it's better to be in a team than be a solo player. Work together, collaborate with each other, with your family, with your team, with whatever outside network you have.
And when you talk about the team, sorry Mandeep, sorry to interrupt you, get the right team.
Yes, that's
I
important.
know there are many teams, they promise you will do this. Once you're there, you're alone, there's no team. And the acronym for team, TEAM, is together, each achieves more. Together.
Yes,
not
it's all
individually.
but together.
All right? And the reason, again, Mandeep, Dhesi, Team Dhesi, Team Mandeep, Team Aspire, I've been here, and I do see you going out of your way and helping build together. And I've seen many new, as I've come into the office, I saw a gentleman who's new here with a ton of experience from from Germany.
Germany, yeah.
From Germany and from India in the banking field, in the restaurant business. But know my words, he said for the time he's been here, he's been looked after, he's got no complaints whatsoever. And that's the reason I keep up that job, Mandeep.
Love that. So love that, Nanaji. Actually, it's all about your blessings and motivation that we are able to scale. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to Mr. Raj. We'll share the links so you can follow them. They are really getting active on social media. This is the guy to look for. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.